Good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of the Motivational Hour. And you guessed it, I am your host, Donald L. Dowrich Jr., motivational guru, Frederick Douglass, author of 14 top-selling books. Also, the creator of the DLD wear, t-shirts with a powerful message. You can tune in to DLD in various platforms, such as the website, www.dldenterprises. Also, you can tune in to DLD on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and of course, you can go to Google and Twitter to check out DLD and see what we're doing, what we have done, and what we're going to do. Every day is a perfect gift to get up, move forward, and bring your gift to life. And always remember, unselfishly, it's not about you. It's about the people that you can serve who might need the gift that God has given you.
We will be right back. Welcome back.
Well, today we have another exciting show. And on this show, we have no other than the creator who gave us the birth of what is known as the Black Business Bus Tour. This bus tour is making stops throughout the city of Tampa, throughout the county of Hillsborough County. And also, this bus is making stops, not just in the state of Florida, ladies and gentlemen, but it is reaching out to other cities, states, and universes throughout this place we call America. And I am honored to have the creator, the founder, and the beautiful young lady who have gave birth to the Black Business Bus Tour. Now, before I bring her in, I must also make it known that she is the creator and founder, she done had two births, of the Tea Time, that is Candy Lowe's Tea Time, that meet every Saturday. And can you believe, no COVID could stop. I'll say it again, no COVID could stop the tea time from going on because of the fact that we have technology, and technology allow us to be with people without physically being with people. How about that? Be with people, but not physically be with people. You know, back in the days, we didn't have that privilege because we had a telephone. That's right, a telephone that was hooked up to the wall, and we had to dial the numbers, and each number took at least a minute before it got back, before we could dial it again. So you figure 7 numbers took us maybe about 10 minutes to dial. Yeah. And then guess what? If that person wasn't there on that other end, how could you leave a message? And then came what is called the voicemail. You see that big old gigantic box that you hook up next to the telephone? That's right. And we even have phone booths. Dun, 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 dun. Who's that busting out that phone booth? Is it Superman? No, it's us. Making those what? 25, 10 cent, 15 cent, 20 cent, 25 cent, 30 cent calls. And it even got up to 50 cents before they start collecting them off the what? Corners. And then they gave us this gadget. Well, before this gadget, they gave us the pager, the beeper. But to any avail, moving on, we are in an age now where we don't really need these type of gadgets because we have what is called ZOOM, Zoom. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to zoom into introducing and giving you all the flavor of no other than Miss Candy Lowe. How you doing, Miss Candy Lowe?
Very, very well, Donald Daldridge. Brother, you are absolutely amazing. You have been motivating our city, our state, across the country here for many years. And I'm just so proud of you for all of the things that you have been able to just drive and accomplish and just never quitting, motivating so many across the city and the state and the country, even me. You have no idea who all you touch when you're motivating. And I have had the privilege of listening to Frederick Douglass through you on a number of occasions. And brother, you are just a stand-up guy, and I'm grateful to be on the show today.
Well, I'm grateful to have you on the show. And there for a minute, I was like, wait a minute, am I the guest? Am I the guest on my own show here? But, hey, in all true reality, thank you very much, Candy. They talk about passion and they talk about gifts. And, when I took this mantle back in January 1990, let's call it 1990, I knew I was in it to win it. Once I got into it, there was no turning back. And, people like you who I have the chance to mingle with, friend with, communicate with, and carry out a mission that is bigger than us, if you will, that is a privilege. And I'm just honored that, you open up your door and you allow me to be a part of it, so no doubt. Thank you. The thank you is back on you now. What you gonna do with it?
Donald, moving our people in a direction of greatness, moving them in a way that we all benefit in the city in a positive way has been actually a joy. It's been very rewarding seeing the community come together and embracing the Black Business Bus Tour. We started the Black Business Bus Tour in 2006 here in the city of Tampa. And we just had our 15th year anniversary in June, which was just unbelievable. In 24 hours, we had 3 sellout events throughout the city. And we had our mayor, city council, county commissioners, state representatives, at all of those events with our community, celebrating the uplifting of small Black-owned businesses here in the city of Tampa, and bringing you on a few years back as a captain on bus number. You all started off on bus number 2, and then I think you all moved to bus number 1. When we have the bus tour rivalry, and you and Mona Judge and our sister, our late great Miss Dolores Grayson, was always on bus number 1 with you all, and she will greatly be missed.
Yes.
And has done a great job being the captain on the bus, getting everybody up and excited on the bus, and encouraging people to spend money. That ride from one stop to the next is encouraging people to be grateful and just enjoy and wanting to spend with small Black-owned businesses. And I don't know, we had one of the bus tours where Mona did say when we had our post-bus tour meeting that your bus spent the most money. I don't know if that was true or not. She said a number of people on there had Black American Express cards. I had to stop. And we always show out and do our thing on our bus with Brother Jarvis and Connie Milton and Beth Shoup. We are the captains on bus number 3. But it has been amazing to see how diverse our Black Business Bus Tour has become here in the city of Tampa, which truly is a diverse city.
Yes.
We were always going to Black-owned businesses. The formula has never changed. I said from day one, we're gonna go out and support Black-owned businesses, but anyone can ride the bus. We want all people in our city to know about small African-American businesses. We only have a few from city to city, so why not highlight them, bring awareness to them, and go and spend money with those small Black-owned businesses. So that's what we have been able to do here in the city of Tampa for the last 15 years, Donald.
So if and taking everything in what you said, and I must give another kudos and big ups and prayers to our Miss Dolores Grayson, who I had the opportunity to know her, and we served in the same church at the same church, and to come to find out that who her relatives were. And it just kind of took me to another level, knowing that she was connected in the same family as some of the relatives that I knew prior to getting to know her. I will say that as a sidebar, just past Thursday, I ran into her brother at another friend of mine, dear friend of mine's homegoing. And not only that, her sister came up and said, "Wait a minute, you're Donald Dowridge, right? The Frederick Douglass guy." I said, "Yes." So her and we talked, and I gave her kudos in reference to Miss Dolores, and not only Miss Dolores, but her mom as well. Two awesome people that God called home. But as we continue to move on, what I would like to do
We will be right back. Welcome back.
What I would like to do at this moment, Candy, if you don't mind, I would like to get off the bus at this junction. And if you will, can you take us down a path of the personal Candy? Where you come from? I know you didn't come from Mars, and I know you just didn't get off the spaceship that took four people around the world, SpaceX. So I know you wasn't on there because I was looking at the trip, if you will, and I didn't see Candy Lowe on there. So can you kind of like just give us a short synopsis about Candy Lowe? Who is Candy Lowe besides the bus tour and the tea time?
Oh, brother, thank you so much for that, because most people don't ever really want to know who you are, where you come from, and which is okay sometimes. But I'm born and raised in Tampa. My mom is from Columbus, Georgia. My dad is from South Carolina. And
what city, South Carolina? I'm sorry?
Town, South Carolina.
Okay, just stay like you are because you're going in and out. Okay. All right.
That's, so, just born and raised here in the city of Tampa. I love Tampa. I love Florida. I love the warm weather. I have two children, grandson that I just absolutely love. My grandson
He's
is
a handsome young man.
he's been doing videos with me. I think he started when he's about 3-4 months old, and he's a joy and a bundle. And I think about legacy when I'm looking at him and being able to share and pass things on to my grandson and my children is very important to me. I think that when you ask me, who am I think I am a very passionate person. I am driven by my own thoughts as well. And it's important for me to continue to stand up for all things that I believe in myself. My dad would always tell me when I was growing up that people don't have to do anything for you. So I keep that in mind all the time. I hear that in my ear. And so that means that I have to do it. I have to get up and make things happen. I've been an entrepreneur for 17 years here in the city of Tampa. I opened up a tea shop in the historical Harbor Club in 2003. Miss Sarah Osley, she gave me an opportunity. I left nursing at that time, a year after opening up the shop, and just made things happen. I just believe that if you can dream it, believe it, you can manifest it. I still live by that today. So I think I'm humble. I'm serious most of the time. People will say, I don't smile that much, probably because the majority of the time I'm thinking about the nextness. So I enjoy my friends. You know a number of my teammates, my Black Business Bus Tour team. We are all very close, and we've been friends and a team for a long time. And I'm always proud to say that when I talk to people about the Black Business Bus Tour team, we have been very solid. Very few people come to the bus tour and leave. We have been, it's a sister and a brotherhood that is, as my brother Jarvis would say, with no cracks in between. So a personal note, I absolutely love gardening. I love out at the beach. I try not to share a lot of like my personal interpersonal stuff with people, because I believe that the universe gave those things to me, and everybody have to create their own personal things. I know you have been to several of my parties at my home, my birthday celebrations, and it's always the same 15 or 20 people. I'm very private when I'm doing things, and I just have learned to be that way.
Yeah. It's not, and nowadays, you definitely have to be careful in this environment that we're in, who you allow in your circle. And those that you also have to have your guards up, because you're a famous lady. A lot of people know you. You know what I mean? A lot of people love you, and allowing the if you will, the hanger oners, the gold diggers, if you will, or the ones that come in your circle because they believe within themselves that they're going to reap some type of award from you illegally, or they come in with a hidden agenda. As a matter of fact, I saw a post on Facebook this morning that my sister put up. It wasn't this morning, it was yesterday, with a sheep. And then on top of the sheep is, a wolf. And then on top of the sheep, there's a layer, the wolf, there's a layer of a wolf. So, we all got to be careful of the sheep in wolf clothing. Did I say that right? So we got to be careful about that. Also, back on a personal note, and I hope you don't mind me sharing this. And I don't mind sharing it about myself. I was hospitalized a couple of years ago, and out of nowhere, I woke up, and who was in the room sitting on the bottom of my bed giving me instructions on how to get well? It was no other than you, Candy Lowe, and I do thank you and I appreciate that. And that also brought out another personal side of you, which is the CARING, the caring side of you. And then you went on and told me that your past employment, if you will, was, a nurse and working in a hospital, if you will, or I think for a private practice. So, you bring all that knowledge and strength and wealth to the forefront, even though you are now Black Business Bus Tour, now Candy Lowe's Tea Time, but still, let's just say that we out on a bus tour and someone, have a medical issue. We got the doctor in the house, you know what I mean, to help take some, lift somebody and take care of somebody. Because I mean, I'm not going to say take it for granted. While we out on these bus tours and you got what, 50 people per bus, we get on a bus, we all fired up, and you never know, somebody, something might happen. You know what I mean? So who we gonna call? Not Ghostbusters. We gonna call Candy Lowe. So I mean, that's a gift and a blessing that you still bring that to the table, even in your the reinvented you.
Yes, yes. And on the buses, I'm glad you say that, because we always have medical people that are at the Black Business Bus Tour. We have Travia Anderson and another several other nurses that are there at the Black Business Bus Tour. We make sure on the buses that we have mints and juices and water, those type things, because we have seniors that come to the Black Business Bus Tour from over at Bible Base. We have some that come from up Ocala area. They come almost every Black Business Bus Tour. So we make sure that we have things, our first aid kits and other things for the people that are on the bus. But thank you for that, Donald.
Yeah, no, thank you. And even to further that, on the buses on the tours that I've traveled on, when you say senior citizens, yes, I do agree. There have been a number of senior citizens who have made their way to take advantage of the bus tours. And I'm sure, like on my bus, number one and bus number two, I'm the happy-go-lucky guy. However, I am not just a happy-lucky-go guy, but I'm a guy that cares about, our elders. So, we have a number of young people, or another number besides the bus driver. Myself, I would join him in helping individuals get off the bus. And I think that's part of my responsibility as one of the captains of the bus, to make sure that while we are on the trip, that everybody is not just having a good time, but everybody is safe. Everybody, they getting what they need, getting what they want, and they satisfied with the trip. And that also goes with when we come to stops, to different locales, we stop to get off and go in the stores, that these senior citizens, to make sure that they're able to get off the bus, not just in a timely manner, but to get off the bus safely and to get back on the bus safely. So whatever they need, a helping hand off the bus, or if a helping hand back on the bus, I stand there to make sure that when they coming off, when they going back on, there's no mishaps. And I'm sure on each one of those bus, there is someone who is designated to carry out the same duty, correct?
I'm glad you brought that up, Donald, because again, we started the Black Business Bus Tour in 2006. The first 3 years, close to 3 years, the bus tour was every month. It was every single month. So we had the bus tour early on enough to get all of the kinks out of the Black Business Bus Tour. Where to go, how to go, in between stops, what should we be doing, the miles between the stops. All of those things are all calculated out before we take the bus tour. One of the things, we have before the tour is our general meeting that goes over all of the instruction with all of the volunteers, all of the captains of the Black Business Bus Tour. And then it gives a chance for everyone to ask questions so that we're on the same page. It reminds me of when I did work at the hospital. No matter which floor you went on, the rules was all the same. So it's easy to jump off bus number 1 and go on bus number 2. Or if we needed you on bus number 4, you had to move on bus number 4, because we had to do that with one of the bus tours with the Heritage Festival. I think we had to move you and Mona over to another bus, and it just flowed. You didn't have to think about it. The rules are the same. The formula is the same. You get in, you get out. You know how much time you need to be in the store. You know to go back and make sure everyone is out of the store, get back on the bus in a timely manner, and definitely making sure that we take care of our seniors on the buses and also our children, because we do have young people that come out and they are a part of the Black Business Bus Tour. They're young entrepreneurs. They just want to be a part of the movement that we have going on here at on the Black Business Bus Tour. So the formula is the same. You're absolutely right. We make sure that we take care of everyone's needs that are on the bus, including our bus driver.
We will be right back. Welcome back.
Yes, and I will say that the bus drivers that, at least on our bus, that we've been lucky to have, they have been involved. It's almost like, well, instead of them being the driver, they're one of the guests on the bus, and it has been, a total blast with each one of them. And I must say, me being who I am, there's nobody who's a stranger. And while we on that bus, I want everyone to be as one. Now, I know you mentioned earlier, that we have different denominations, if you will, different race of people, blacks, white, Hispanics, Asians, they're all on these buses. And the mere fact that I can't speak for the other buses, but I can definitely speak for the buses that I've been on, that having our Caucasian brothers and sisters, and getting them involved. And not only that, just having the one-on-one conversation with them, in the midst of the stops, or just watching them in action, communicating with the other brothers and sisters. So, I mean, they just lose, if you will, themselves in us. And as one of the, like they used to say about the entertainers from the white entertainers from the past, they would say my blue-eyed soul brothers or my brown-eyed soul brothers, and sisters. So it is definitely a welcome to have them on board, because they get to have that Black experience. You know what I mean? So you can elaborate more on that.
Yes, yes. I was actually getting excited listening to you talk about that, because no matter what bus you're on, they're all a group of different people, different backgrounds, different races, different denominations, different political beliefs. We've been able to bring Republicans and Democrats on the same bus, and we don't talk politics. We just enjoy the movement of supporting Black-owned businesses. I can't tell you how many times, Donald, that when people are calling just to get information about the Black Business Bus Tour, what bus am I going to be on? They want to be on a bus with someone they know and so on. But I have seen every single bus tour, when they get there and the bus that they thought they were going to get on, if it's full and they have to get on another bus, they meet new friends. And when they come back for the next bus tour, they want to be on that bus again, because it is really a bus tour that really brings people together. It's like we see no color that day. We're only focusing on the mission, and that is to bring capital, instant capital, to Black-owned businesses within a 45-minute period of time, doing that tour to make a difference with those small African-American businesses. Also, to go back at a later date. We have a number of people throughout our community that are not African-American that has made it their business, after going on the bus tour, returning back to those Black-owned businesses and supporting them. And I just absolutely love, one of my favorite persons that come and has been a part of the bus tour is Erin Abel. She makes sure that she posts about Black businesses that she's gone to. Amy March, there's a number, John Godwin, of different things they may have purchased. They put their earrings on, or they wear their purses, and say that they purchased that from Switching Up Styles, or they purchased their outfit from African Extravaganza. So I just absolutely love watching that piece on Facebook and other social medias. And we have built an amazing bond between our community with the Black Business Bus Tour.
When you speak of, going back, when you mentioned the word capital, we all know what capital is about. We know that in this America that we live in, capital is the means to all ends, if you will. So, and speaking of capital, how do the stores that we travel to, how do they become a part of this Black Business Tour? Are they laying out capital to be a part of it? I mean, we ain't got to divvy into too much personal, but I'm just saying, and at the end of the day, it's been stated that because of the Black Business Tour, a lot of these establishments have walked away with increased capital. Can you speak on that?
Yes. Well, when we started the bus tour, the first couple years, going out trying to find businesses, riding around the city from one end of the city to the other, as far as Riverview, Brandon, Town and Country, New Tampa, South Tampa. During that time, that Gibsonton area really wasn't very established. But we've gone throughout the city looking for Black-owned businesses, and it was like pulling teeth. And now,
wait a minute, let me interrupt. You say pulling teeth. Why was the teeth being pulled? You turned into a dentist there, huh?
absolutely, to the point that all of the teeth was gone, and it was difficult, but the mission was still there to accomplish the ultimate goal, which was to support Black-owned businesses. And if we put out something about the Black Business Bus Tour is coming, or save the date, we have so many people throughout the city. They're going to share it. The Black-owned businesses now, the last 4 or 5 years, they call us now. So I don't have to really look for them now. They call us. It's a marketing tool. It is one of the, I don't ever want to say only, because we have other things that work well as well. But it is one of the things that we have no doubt that if you invest in your business with the Black Business Bus Tour, you are guaranteed customers to come across your threshold. And I say it all the time. It is about that day of the bus tour day, but it's about the return. It's about people coming back to Coco's Fashion Monday. It's about people coming back to Queen's Vision the next weekend, and just circulating those dollars over and over. I want to say, Donald, Tampa may be leading the country in supporting Black-owned businesses. We're not circulating our dollars in this city here only 6 hours. I don't believe that. We have been circulating the dollars throughout the city of Tampa for the last 5+ years on a consistent basis, and we have been willing to do that. We are proud to do that. Buying with Black-owned businesses, talking about Black-owned businesses, and making sure that it is it's okay to do that. And I mentioned this a number of times, starting the Black Business Bus Tour in the city of Tampa, where during that time, people would tell me not to say Black, take Black out. Why do we have to say Black? And I just would not do that. I was going to stick to the mission. It is about Black-owned businesses. And we only have a few, no matter what city I have ever gone to. It's not from neighborhood to neighborhood to neighborhood. You find Black-owned businesses. You have to go to a city and you say, hey, where are the Black-owned businesses? I know I do that when I go
do that as well.
To Philly when I had a speaking engagement there. We wanted to know where the Black-owned businesses were. And we were talking to Black people, and they stumbled when they were trying to tell us about Black-owned businesses in the city, and we had to find most of them on our own. So, brother, I think that this city is on fire for supporting Black-owned businesses, and I'm excited to be a part of that and moving forward with our Black Business Bus Tour throughout this city, throughout the surrounding cities, throughout the state of Florida, and other areas throughout our country that are wanting the Black Business Bus Tour to come and be a part of their communities.
Well, Candy, let me play the can at this junction. Let me play the devil's advocate. Though we have the Black Business Bus Tour, okay, hooray, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. But wait a minute. My question is, why do we need a Black Business Bus Tour when you got a lot of African Americans in this city, if you will, that fluent or frequents Walmart? Now, if you go into a conglomerate store such as Walmart, you know, you got everything in there that one could think of that they ever need. If you go into a Target, or if you go to different restaurants, you know, you got the McDonald's and the Burger Kings and what have you, you know. So why do you need a Black business bus tour to take people around to these establishments when you have, you know, these Walmarts, and we got these Wendy's, and we got these auto, you know, these Goodyear auto mechanics and what have you. I mean, what do we need people going to see Black businesses for? What's up with that?
Small businesses is what make a community, not big Walmarts, big malls. That is not what make a community, period. You know, you're from a big city. I have family in New York, but coming back home, just come back here we have areas throughout the city, Hispanic neighborhoods that has blocks and blocks of Hispanic restaurants, black beans, yellow rice, Cuban sandwiches, all over. And they support one another. Columbus Drive, there are shops, there's boutiques, there's CPAs, all of those businesses are there, and they have been taught to support one another. I think this thing is a mindset. It is a mindset. As a child, I know that there was small Black businesses from corner to corner that are not there now. If those small stores were still in the community, by this time, my son would have known about them, my daughter would have known about them, my grandson would know about them. They're gone. So it's almost like we're always having to reteach. We always having to get that mind back where we need to be in reference to supporting Black-owned businesses. I wish we didn't have to talk about that we should support Black-owned businesses. I wish that we were already doing it as a matter of fact. So I know that when I'm in New York and I'm out and about with my cousins in the Bronx or in Manhattan, most of those businesses there don't look like us, don't look like family, because other people are encouraged to support. I just don't believe that has been something that we have been encouraged to do. We hear a lot of negative things about African American businesses, which is not true. We talk about our service is horrible, it's bad, it's not this. That is not true. I don't allow people to tell me those things, because I know that when I am out and I'm at other businesses, the services are just like the other services. The cleanliness is no different than our cleanliness. So I don't get so much into bad service, the food isn't good, just all of those things that I think in our mind we just continue to feed on. And I don't talk about that, and I don't allow people to bring that to me either. So
yeah, well, no, you got it. When it comes to supporting Black businesses, and if I may throw this in there, I've always been a strong advocate for, and I'm just going to say it, I've been a strong advocate, and I'm still a strong advocate for my brothers and sisters out there starting a business and what have you. Even, dating back to when I first started, I was one of the first to come out the gate, if you will, with a minority motivational service. And when I say the first, I'm talking about full time. That meant that, no, I wasn't going to work and doing this as a sidebar. No, this was the main thing. So that, that put me in the first. However, in supporting our brothers and sisters, and I'm like you, I don't look at the negative side of what they're doing and what they're bringing to the public. I look at the point that, hey, at least we got it. At least somebody was brave enough to step out and, start on a venture that they saw in a dream, and they wanted to see it come to reality. Because for you, Candy, and millions of other Black business owners out there, it all started as a dream. It started as an idea, and they had the gall and the audacity, I'll say the audacity to bring this dream to reality. And they know that in starting a business, you got that 5-year itch. And nowadays, I believe that 5 years is lowered down to maybe 3-year itch, that if you don't make it within 3 years, you can call it quits. Well, we've had millions of businesses, Black businesses, who have surpassed the 3-year, the 5-year, but unfortunately, unlike you, no pun intended, they're not getting a light shined on them. So unfortunately, they're never known about. But if they did have per se a Black business tour, such as what you're doing, then they can have someone to load up buses and travel to their establishments and shine lights on them to keep them fluent. But the number one point that I heard you say, and not to prolong, is that, keeping the dollars in the Black hands. There's many articles that are written, and I've read many articles of how important it is to keep those Black dollars in our Black neighborhoods. I mean, can you speak more on that?
Well, I think,
why is that important?
Let me mention this here. This is one thing that I have watched in our neighborhoods for a long time. If we have to have an event, if we have to have a back to school event or give out food for holidays, we have to go somewhere else to get it. If Black owned businesses was getting the support from our community, we would have those fundraisers, we would have those give backs directly from the Black owned businesses, because the money would be pouring into them, and the school events will be coming directly from the Black owned businesses. We wouldn't have to go and ask for certain things outside of the community. But if we spend within, one of the things you just mentioned, Michael Jackson, one of his quotes that I absolutely love, I have it sitting right here in front of me all the time, and you were speaking on it. It says, when one person believes in something, it's a dream. When two persons share the same dream, it's the beginning of a new reality. Michael Jackson. And I think about that all the time. It's a dream, and you share it, and it just grows, and it becomes almighty reality. So that's what I believe. We have been seeing the last couple of years, Black owned businesses that are giving back to the community. So that shows me that we are doing the right thing. My Shades of Texture does events over there, and they give away things. If Coco Fashion is having a big sale there, they're giving back things. Over at FAP 5508, that venue that has, I think, about 30 Black owned businesses that are now doing events on the weekend that are bringing people together. That means the money is just starting to really, really stir up in the city of Tampa. And once we're doing that, we're able to give back. I remember a couple years back, one of the guy was asking about advertising, and the numbers was high for the advertising. And I said, listen, brother, our small African-American businesses cannot afford $3,000 and $4,000 to advertise. One of the things we know with the pandemic, the disparities came out, Donald, and we were at the bottom of the majority of those disparities. We already knew that the loans are not given to African Americans. I say it all the time. During the time I had the T-Shop, I went to all of the SBA events. Uncle Ed and I would go together, and was never able to get what was needed. Someone was getting it, but the majority of the African American people that was in those classes was not getting it, was always looked over. We know that during the pandemic, if you Google it, most of the African American businesses did not get those dollars as well. And I think it's just across the board. And in spite of that, that's why I believe it still comes back to us doing our part, being intentional when we're spending our money. I know for me, Donald, when I'm out and yesterday, my sister Paulette and she does my nails every now and then. I go to a black nail techs here in the city. We went there to a brother on Hillsborough to Island Crew for lunch. You know, I intentionally want to go and support an African American business. And then when you do that, post that on Facebook, where you had lunch at, post where you had dinner at, and it was a Black owned business, so that we all know where we should. Eggs Up Grill out there in Riverview, an unbelievable young couple. And when you go out there, it makes me happy, because when you get there, you got to stand in line. I don't mind waiting. If it takes 30 minutes to get in the door at Eggs Up Grill to support that brother, he and his beautiful bride, I'm with it.
Well, when you speak on Eggs Up, and it was because of you, Candy Lowe, I saw you on Facebook, where you were, advertising, and you were there ordering at Eggs Up. And believe it or not, I think it was maybe with the next week or week and a half, I made my way to Eggs Up. And I tell you, I got the breakfast, and trust me, the breakfast was so good, it put me to sleep. I mean, that's how delicious. And I ate every bit of it. And I must also go on to the fact that since that first visit, I've been back maybe 5 or 6 times. It's not a regular, because of the fact that, if I eat something like that, I got the plan to just chill for the whole day. But just the mere fact of going there and knowing that it's an African American owned establishment even makes it much more enlightening to spend, get the word, my capital in that establishment. Before I ask the next question or go into the next segment, if you will, I just want to let everybody know that you are currently tuned into the Motivational Hour, and I am your host, Donald L. Dowridge Jr. A lot of people know me as Frederick Douglass, the motivational guru, author, and of course, I am the designer, if you will, or creator of DLD wear, which are t-shirts with a powerful message. And I must also say that if you're looking for a powerful speaker at an event, you're looking at him, Donald L. Dowridge Jr. Just check me out, www.DLD Enterprises website. And I am all over the platform. And when I say platform, I am all over the social platform. So just check me out, Facebook, etc., etc. Well, getting back to my guest today is no other than Miss Candy Lowe. Miss Candy Lowe is the founder of the Black Business Bus Tour, and she also is the founder of Candy Lowe Tea Time, which, believe it or not, Candy, you might have forgotten this, but you and we met at your establishment of the Candy Lowe Tea Time back in 2006 upon my re-entry back into Tampa from my 4-year hiatus in Baltimore, where I had left in 2002 and came back in 2006. And our good friend brought me in, and he introduced us. And I personally, I had seen that establishment, and forgive me, I forget the name of it, but the Harbor Club. I had seen it all along, but I never really ventured into it because at that time I really didn't see us there. So I really never had the knack to want to venture in. But upon my return and being brought there and introduced to you, quite naturally, my head was on a spin, because I was looking at all the other businesses that were in there, and not only the other businesses, but they looked like me. And I was like, wow, Tampa is changing up here. What's going on? So how long, I know you had mentioned it early, but please, with the time we have left, I want to, just focus in on the tea time, if you will. What brought that to reality?
Well, I've been drinking tea all my
Wait a
life.
minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Hold on. We don't allow no drinking on the show. Only Donald, right? But go ahead, go ahead.
So, my dad introduced me to tea, and been drinking it ever since. Hot tea, cold tea, then back to hot tea. So just came up with my own tea shop, my own tea blends. I would have small tea parties at my home, and have friends over, and I would blend up different types of teas for them. And if they liked it, those were the teas that I would have in the shop. I opened that shop actually in 2003, right at going into 2004. I was actually at Sifa's Hot Shop, Jamaican spot there in Ybor City. And he would tell me all the time about Miss Sarah Osley. I need to go over there and talk with her and see if I can open up my shop in there. And I never would go. And lo and behold, I was in there one day getting dinner, and she walked in. And that opened the door of she and I having a conversation. I went over and toured the building. The only business in there at that time was the barbershop, and that was her partner that had the barbershop. I opened up the tea shop. God brought some great people to help me make it happen. From the flooring to the shelves to the teas to the cabinets to the mirrors on the wall. It was just a blessing of all of the people that came to help make that happen. And then when I would have started advertising on WTMP, I never forget it, with Nick and Nicole. We would have networking events there. James Evans would come there.
The late great James Evans.
Before we started the Black Business Bus Tour, and he is one of the persons I give some credit to on teaching me how to network, how to work the room, and getting the message across. And I did that advertisement on WTMP, where my radio commercial would come on every day right after the Tom Joyner morning show. And then I started seeing results from that after the second, going into that third month. So that's why I know you have to stay the course. Advertising on the radio, getting people to come over and buy the tea, starting the Black Business Bus Tour. And the businesses that was in there when you started coming, they were not there when I came. They started by becoming a vendor at the Black Business Bus Tour. Miss Phyllis Henry, Miss Collins, there was another young lady that had a beautiful accessory shop. They were a vendor at the Black Business Bus Tour first. They believed that they can open up a shop, and lo and behold, each one of them opened up their shop in the Harbor Club as a result of coming to the Black Business Bus Tour. So I think that there's a number of other businesses, I won't call names, that has been a part of the Black Business Bus Tour that went on and opened up a business as well.
So with the tea time, with the Candy Lowe tea time, as time passed on, and here we are from, it's okay, 2003 to here we are 2021. When I came on board, if you will, I noticed that advertisements would go out in reference to come by the Candy Lowe tea time for conversation. Now, the conversations, I know that you have them on Saturday, just about every Saturday. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, because of COVID, you've moved them from in person to the Zoom. Now, you might be back in person, but elaborate a little bit on the the Candy Lowe tea time conversation. What is that about? I mean, people just come in, have conversation and drink tea, or what?
Tea and conversation about 16 years ago, 15, 16 years ago at the Harbor Club. During that time, Eddie Adams was there, JDB Wiles was there, James Ransom would come through, Uncle Ed that everyone knows in the city. Kim Jackson was there during that time. Life was there from the beginning of Tea and Conversation. And during that time, we would just talk about different topics. Dr. Carl Warren was there. Reverend Dixon was there. They were all there at the beginning. Connie Burton of Tea and Conversation. And just have conversation about just community issues. And as time went on, we brought in candidates, the elected officials would start coming to Tea and Conversation, and we would put together these platforms where they would come and just talk about what their issues were, talk about if they were running for office, what their platform was, and getting together and having phone bankings at our tea shop, having community walks from the tea shop. So it just grew into what we have today. As a matter of fact, Donald, we didn't stop Tea and Conversation. I think we may have stopped for like a month during COVID because we were on the outside. Jackie at Al's Finger Licking Good Soul Food Restaurant allowed us to sit out on the patio area. You know, in Ybor City, during that time, they were letting people sit out and eat outside. So she allowed us to sit out on the patio. We're now back on the inside. Of course, with mask on, if you're vaccinated, you know, the majority of the people do wear their mask. We are back on the inside. We've had the opportunity to have candidates that run for governor at Tea and Conversation, candidates that have run for Senate, Congress at Tea and Conversation. Our representatives throughout the community have been to Tea and Conversation. I think just about every city councilman has been to Tea and Conversation. Our county commissioners as well has been to Tea and Conversation. Bob Buckhorn, to my tea shop, he would just pop up during that time. He's one of our former mayors here in the city of Tampa, from the Harbor Club to Ybor City to our last location there in Seminole Heights, and a big supporter of Tea and Conversation.
Now, can you, because I know with the time is steady ticking on us.
We will be right back. Welcome back.
Can you do me a big favor, Candy? Can you do me a big favor? Okay, we'll let you get that sip on. All right. Like I said, no drinking now. I hope that's straight water. But the favor that I need from you, can you put your information out so that people who are interested in possibly giving you a ring to come to their establishment, or because this show, though we're taping it here in Tampa, this show will be seen throughout. And when I say throughout, I'm talking about throughout the country. So you never know, like you said, you put it out there, you never know who's going to come coming. And also, after you put your information out, number two, can you, because I know that you have a large following in reference to Black businesses because of the fact that, and I'm a witness through the Black Business Bus Tour, all the businesses that you have frequent and introduced a whole conglomerate of people to, can you just shout out their names, not the individual, but the business, can you just give them a shout out? And that's your way of saying, hey, thanks for supporting the Black Business Bus Tour.
So much for that. My name is Candy Lowe with the Black Business Bus Tour right here in the city of Tampa, throughout the Tampa Bay area. My number is 813-394-6363. Again, my number is 813-394-6363. Our website is blackbusinessbustourflorida.com. Again, that website is blackbusinessbustourflorida.com. And you already know Tampa may be leading the country in supporting Black-owned businesses. Margaret DeBelate says that we are. So we are definitely leading the country in supporting Black businesses. African Extravaganza, Queen's Visions, Coco's Fashion, Switching Up Styles, Rick Rollins, men's dress wear over there at West Shore Mall that I absolutely love. Mama Soul Food, Al's Finger Licking Good Soul Food, Seventh and Grove. We have so many Black-owned businesses here in the city of Tampa. And thank you so much for having me on the show, Donald.
Oh, it's been much pleasure to have you, on the show. Candy Lowe, I mean, the city talks about you, the county talks about you, and I talk about you, and for no doubt, you know what I mean? You and I, one-on-one, we've had some awesome conversations, and it has been a blessing for me, if you will, to be able to help support financially, and just help support in any way I can, to keep you going in the city. And I know that when earlier you mentioned Philadelphia, but I know that you have taken the bus tour to Philadelphia. I know you have taken it to New York. I know you have taken it to, correct me if I'm wrong, Savannah, Georgia. And I might even want to add Miami in there. So people are getting an awakening, if you will, to you and the Black Business Tour. And I know for a fact that, yes, you have went there, but you have taken your entourage with you as well to help support you and the initiative. So no doubt, I am just one of those guys on the side. I'm your cheerleader. You see what I'm saying? I'm cheering you on. And the mere fact that, yes, I'm gonna say it, you're Black. Number two, you're energetic. Number two, you're working your vision. Number three, you're helping others to help themselves. You know what I mean? So that means a lot. And that just put more, if you will, that just put more iron on the fire to make it burn a little longer. All right. So again, thank you so very much for being my guest today. Much love to you. All right. And you just keep doing what you're doing. And look, don't stop. Don't never stop. All right. And like they say, never, never, ever, ever, ever stop. Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard it loud and clear from my guest today, no other than Miss Candy Lowe. And I am your guest, Donald L. Dowrich Jr., and this is the Motivational Hour. And I thank you very much for tuning in. Stay tuned. We ain't finished yet, because we coming back with somebody else special, somebody else wonderful, somebody else dynamite. So before they come back, you, in the meantime, continue to be special, awesome, dynamite. And every day God allow you to wake up with that energy to go out and accomplish a feat. God bless you, DLD.
We will be back after these messages. Donald L. Dowrich Jr., motivational guru, facilitator, author, actor. In 1992 he started DLD, determined to learn and develop enterprises in Tampa, Florida. Donald had a vision of creating a motivational minority business that focused on motivating, educating on the subjects of life skills, winning attitude, being an overcomer and achiever at goal setting, and how to persevere to reach those milestones. Donald is the author of 14 top-selling books. He likewise has hosted top-rated radio broadcast entitled Motivational Moments, which turned out to be his 14th book. If you have not seen him in his 12th year of portraying the great abolitionist and freedom fighter, Frederick Douglass currently is the designer of bloodwear t-shirts that has taken the market by storm. For more information on DLD Enterprises, visit our website and other social media. DLD Enterprises motto: hands that help are hands that care.